What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob, and in today's episode, I want to talk about 3 reasons why I'm slightly concerned about the Giants this year. So with that, let's dive into reason number 1. Reason number 1, obviously going to be injuries. A lot of players in the Giants have been plagued with injuries throughout their entire career. So getting started at the quarterback position, let's get started with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, at this point in his career, has not played an entire full season. Obviously, in 2019, he split time with Eli Manning. And then the next 2 years, in 2020, he was hurt, and Colt McCoy came in replacement. In 2021, he also got hurt, and Mike Glennon came in. So those seasons kind of fell apart the second Danny Dimes was hurt, and even though he didn't play that well in those seasons as well. And then last year, in Danny Dimes' best year, he played in just about every game except for the final one where the Giants rested their starters. So I can't blame him for not playing the full season there. He would have played anyway if it was a meaningful game. You have one full, we'll give Danny Dimes the benefit of the doubt in 2022. We'll consider him starting a full season there. But again, there were a couple games where he did get nicked up, especially when he goes on those long runs. You'll see him, he's tripped over his own 2 feet before, comes up limping. I am a little concerned that if he can't play a full season, they do have Tyrod Taylor as the backup, but hopefully he can survive a full season of running and throwing. Next up is obviously our boom or bust guy, Saquon Barkley, one of the key aspects of this Giants offense, who has played in a full season just once in his career, which was his rookie season. He started 16 games. 2019, hurt a little bit, played 13. 2020, obviously, tore his ACL in week 2. 2021, banged up a little bit last year. Again, I guess we could give him the benefit of the doubt as well, because similar to DJ, if the last game of the season was meaningful, he would have played. But again, he did come up limping quite a bunch of times. But I think Saquon last year, being in a contract season, was more than willing to bite down on his mouthpiece and grit through any injuries. So going into season 6 for Saquon, I would love to see a little bit more of a rotation here at the running back position, just to try and keep him healthy throughout an entire season, and especially to keep his legs fresh and try to avoid any sort of drop off in the back half when the Giants need to make a playoff run. And the third cause for concern in the injury bug perspective is tight end Darren Waller, who has played a full season just once in his career in 2019. Obviously, when he was starting in Baltimore, he didn't really touch the field all too often in a starting role. Then when he transitioned to Oakland, he became a Pro Bowler. But again, over those years, he started 16 games once in 2019. Missed a game in 2020 where he did make a Pro Bowl, and then was kind of injury plagued the last 2 seasons, where he ends up with us in 2023 with the Giants. So I'm hoping to get, he looks like he's in great shape. He's going to have to get this injury bug off of his back that has plagued and ruined 2 of his last seasons. So hopefully with the Giants, it's a fresh start for the 30-year-old, and he can put together a full 17-game season, because we're going to need him to. Next up, moving to the second most thing I'm concerned about are the rookie cornerbacks and just overall the Giants secondary in general. According to Sharp Football Analysis, they ranked the Giants going into the season as the 27th best secondary in the league. And just to comment on that a little bit further, what they said was the Giants' pass defense ranked near the middle of the pack in most categories last year, but the unit struggled when the front 7 failed to get pressure. Without pressure, the Giants ranked 25th in EPA per pass attempt allowed. Few changes were made, though the addition of first-round pick Deonte Banks could potentially provide an update. So week 1 versus the Cowboys, you're going to see Deonte Banks from Maryland and also Trey Hawkins from Old Dominion. These are guys that are going to be thrown right into the fire from week 1. And it is a little bit of a cause for concern, because there is that adjustment and learning curve. Obviously, the guys that Banks and Hawkins have played respectively at Maryland and ODU are going to be a significant upgrade to what they'll see against the Cowboys when they're facing, some like guys like CeeDee Lamb and whatnot. So obviously we still have Adoree Jackson coming back as well. So I'm hoping he could kind of fill in that leadership role a little bit, as staying healthy as possible, but also get these guys up to where they need to be. Reason number 3 for things I'm concerned about is punter Jamie Gillan, the Scottish Hammer, who the Giants re-signed this offseason, but honestly, he doesn't pass the eye test for me. I feel like once or twice a game, I'm kind of just complaining, like, how is this guy still on our team at this point, as he is either doing terrible kicks or even, mind-numbing terrible special teams play. If you go back to the Eagles game last year where he just drop-kicked a punt And it kind of just, obviously that game was getting away from us to begin with, but that was kind of, the last straw that broke the camel's back into that becoming a blowout like really early on in the first half. So, hey, maybe Jamie Gillen will be able to prove us wrong. I hope he can, but those are just 3 things and 3 reasons why I'm concerned about the 2023 Giants season. Hey, guys, I'm a pretty big optimist. I wanted to do this video just because these things are bothering me a little bit. And I guess one little bonus thing would just be like the guard play was acceptable last year, but it's not good. So I'm hoping that they could step it up a little bit between Ben Bredesen and Mark Glowinski. But again, I don't think those guys are top players in their respective positions. And it is a little bit of a cause for concern for myself, especially when you look back at the last game we played last year against the Eagles, where the Eagles D-line was just destroying the Giants O-line, and you had guys, especially the guards and centers, turned around the entire time. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we later this week we'll have our Giants-Cowboys preview drop, so be sure to subscribe so you can come back and see that video when it airs. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great week, y'all.